Welcome to Quantum Revival Tarot. I am here reading the tarot for fun, but also as a therapy. And I am here to talk about AI. AI remote communications or synthetic telepathy. Some have called it V2K. I receive dialogue and visuals to the mind. And I'm getting the World card reversed. This is happening in our world. It's something that is happening across the globe. Most of us that I know of are torture victims. However, what is also happening with this stealthy communication system that is a weaponized communication that is coming up in spiritual communities, even with spiritual dialogues. So being able to gaslight people, and I'm going to pull a card for gaslighting. And I'm getting the card of Venus, the Queen of Wands here. And she's kind of bare-breasted, which always makes me think of self-expression, kind of bearing for all to see. It is the card of Venus here, which looks, I'm hearing a hunky-dory, which I never say that, but that's what I'm hearing. And on calm waters here, but also what we know about Venus besides all of the positive, I'm hearing affirmations. I'm hearing don't quit. I'm hearing click. Goodbye, I'm hearing. So also we know that Venus has like sulfuric acid rain, and some really crazy, I'm hearing temperatures, I'm hearing dialogue. And so also heat that can melt lead, right? Insidious, I'm hearing. But Venus can also be something that is, its atmospheric conditions can just be really volatile. I'm hearing volatile. So I'm starting to get interrupted a little bit more as I'm receiving more communications than in my last video. And Venus is kind of looking over at the world. I'm hearing conjunct for some of you, I'm hearing. And she's kind of celebrating over the world here, this female figure in the sky who's dancing. And it is reversed here. That's the World card, which in this deck is also a theory of everything. For any of you who are science buffs, and I'm hearing geek. I'm hearing chic. I'm hearing me nasty. So I receive communications of all sorts of different types of really even character traits. I'm hearing biopic, and I'm seeing a young male who's a repeated character that's really been recycled a lot for me. And so it's hip, is the message. That it's eye-catching, I'm getting, but also can be really alluring for people. And before I turned on the camera, I was hearing stream channeled messages I was hearing. And then I was also receiving like a jumble of dialogue that came up as problematic, the word problematic. So this is fooling people. It really is. It's fooling people. And I hate to see this in the spiritual communities. It's a much, much deeper discussion that I feel like I can even delve into quickly. And so I'm seeing someone like dip their toes in water. It's an AI visual there. Someone just slowly, softly, I'm hearing. Kiss goodnight, I'm hearing. I'm hearing me, and I'm hearing nasty again. So repetitive dialogue and feedback loops. As I pull, and I'm thinking speech. And in this deck particularly, the Knight of Swords, which is of the intellect, but also fights his battle with his words. And I'm hearing combat, and I'm getting insurgent. So I'm on a memory map right now, where a couple of videos ago, I think I did get combat insurgent. And so as they say, combat insurgent surfaces. And as I say that, a card is surfacing here. And it is a mental intellect I'm hearing as I'm looking down at the Ace of Swords, which is reversed here to me. And I think this is W and Z bosons in this deck. The Knight of Swords, which is also reversed. So we see these mental, I'm hearing anguish. So we see these swords here reversed. And this character in the stars is Hercules, who is in combat. and he suffered a lot of persecution from Hera, Zeus's wife, as it may have been jealousy, but he was born to a mortal woman and Zeus. And so this figure in combat is reversed, and this could even maybe mean mental combat, even though he had a lot of physical strength. But we're seeing the card of the intellect again come up here as an ace, someone who's an ace, and it is in the reversal position. Twin dialogue and stream I'm hearing as I'm passing. This is all the way at the bottom of the deck, peering out. I'm hearing from the deep, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it, and that is the Two of Cups. In this deck, that is binary system. And so we see these two figures, and I'm also thinking communicating, but looks like they're toasting their cup here, which cups reminds me of emotions, the spirit. I'm hearing the intellect, wisdom, but emotions, spirit, and also communications, information. What's in our cup? And it's a male and female figure here. And sort of rising, I'm hearing from the ashes is your dialogue. Sort of rising from their cups here as they toast is also this Caduceus with a lion head at the top. So we see these two in a partnership perhaps of communications. Hearing strength is next. And so that's the Two of Cups here. So why don't we pull one for just the entire collective of synthetic telepathy victims? And I'm going to place that right under the world here. And that is the card of radioactivity. Radio wave transmissions also could be, I'm hearing, a part of your stream. Radio frequency I'm hearing. So the Seven of Swords reversed. Sharp tongue I'm getting. Dialogue I'm hearing. And they're kind of in disarray, really sharp, coming out from the center of the card here is the Seven of Swords in reversed. Radioactive dialogue I'm hearing. I'm hearing is me. And I'm seeing the word tree in text, T-R-E-E. I'm seeing the word tree is dialogue I'm hearing. And I'm going to pull one for the dialogue itself, and I'm getting the Seven of Cups reversed. So another seven that we're seeing here. This is Red Giant. So for Red Giant, the star size can be kind of an illusion. The star size is an illusion, the Red Giant. And as we see the Seven of Cups reversed here, I'm hearing in communication. So again, cups, communications, also spirit, and I'm getting spiritual dialogue I'm hearing. And we have these cups filled with different things. We seem to have our options here, but being able to separate reality from illusion I'm hearing, and I was going to say real inspiration from delusion is really the way that this deck describes it. So unbelievably preyed upon, I'm hearing victims need support I'm hearing. Okay, so moving forward I'm getting someone like sweep their hands like this. Let's see, she I'm hearing, and I'm hearing passion. I'm hearing of the Christ, and I was seeing in passion, I was seeing a couple of letters there from the word of passion, and then right into passion of the Christ, I was seeing Jesus's face, and now I'm seeing a rainbow, almost as if Jesus's face is kind of blended with this world card here. In the word, text, document, I'm hearing sees her. Okay. Let's see, wet, I'm hearing dialogue, maneuver, and I'm seeing like a puddle with like water droplets dripping into it. It's you, D is D, day, Tona, and then from, again, surfacing from my memory, Daytona 500. So repetitive dialogue has that kind of effect. To program someone with a dialogue, using repetition, using feedback loops. So then, when you've heard Daytona 500, 500 times, and then you hear the word day, Daytona 500 surfaces, right? So that's an individual map for me where levels of exposure, timing I'm hearing is a factor, and I'm getting key. So levels of exposure and repetition, Also depth of dialogue too, I believe, is a factor. Audibility, how audible is the transmission? How does it affect the actual sound technology? Absorb, I'm hearing it, I'm hearing. And I'm getting a combination of visuals here. Backed up, I'm hearing dialogue. I'm getting a combination of visuals that are kind of like lapped. So the young male character that I was seeing before, the world card, and now Jesus' face again. Things get a little jammed up sometimes, but it's I do believe intentional that these images are looping back through. I'm sorry. So what's in my map, my individual memory map, but also what's important to understand is collective maps, collective mind maps. And I want to come to talk about fishing maps. I'm hearing in a new way. I'm hearing jive, skate. I'm hearing with Natalie. I'm hearing there you go. You said it. So, as I have watched, I'm hearing the tarot community grow. I'm hearing fearless, fearful. And I'm getting beersley, which was a really old one for me. I think it was Arnold Beardsley back from 2017 in the beginning of my fall. I'm hearing torture and I'm getting dialogue. So I'm hearing you fool us, Natalie. Oops, went wrong. Something went wrong, almost like you'd see as a computer, generated response. So anyway, as this has fooled spiritual leaders, and a little bit in the tarot community is something that I want to talk about, and I'm getting looped back through, kind of dipping my toe in the water. Cyberphishing over the web using remote AI communications. I know this is something that's going to be hard to understand. But let's say that you have a connection to the dialogue that I've just spoken out loud. Now you're going to have your own mind maps that correlate. And so what do our individual and collective mind maps look like? And how they are predicted is my study. Is one of the things that I'm looking into over. I'm getting a combination of words here. Word forward, overhead, word phrase dialogue I'm hearing. As I'm hearing word phrase dialogue. Overload, is her, and I'm getting a combination of words again. I'm really getting some I'm hearing characters, jumbles of words here as it's speeding up a little bit from my last video. Radioactive dialogue. And so being able to have tools of discernment, and I'm getting the death card, knowing when it's time to put something to rest, whether it be old, I'm hearing dreams, but also ways of being. For me, this is coming out of a space of isolation. I'm hearing with dialogue, please handy. Handyman, I'm hearing handyman, I'm hearing gesture. Only, I'm hearing squeeze her tightly. So 13, the death card, and we see death here with his scythe harvesting. So for me, this is also, besides the communication itself, harvesting energy, biological energy, but also spiritual energy, this new technology that's fooling people, and I'm hearing fooling us, and I'm hearing it in my own voice. And so it's from memory. And so cyberphishing maps. So this is a toughie to explain. It really is. Put something to rest, I'm hearing, as I'm looking down the death card, which is also the card of Scorpio. A lot of deep thinking. Also can be metaphysical types. The Scorpios that I've met also have quite the sexual nature. I believe this is also the card for the, Scorpio. So that's sacral chakra. And that's really important. In tune, I'm hearing, as I'm thinking to understand about dialogue, I'm hearing. So as I go through my torture experience, I have experiences for every chakra in our chakra systems. my energetic system has been misaligned specifically. And what I have learned about the Earth, and here's the World card, is that our communication systems, which to me I perceive as grid-like, as a natural organic grid system, from our bodies to the Earth. This is a study that I love. And so my heart is broken that I've been misaligned from my natural organic communication system to retune me, repattern, refigure, configure to a false one, to an artificial one, to an inorganic communication system and grid system. Literally. Literally, my chakras aren't just misaligned. I have ley lines and meridians in the body that have been bent and repatterned. And so it's literally like not being able to put my roots in the earth and not being able to grow my crown chakra into the sky. And if you're someone who believes you have a limitless point of view and awareness, then you know that not even the sky is the limit. And so all the way from the center, I'm hearing hollow earth theory, fairy. So all the way here, so here's some material here for different types of viewpoints, belief systems, fads, themes, dialogue I'm hearing about it, which is, again, gaslighting people. My story, I'm hearing, is covered in a different channel. You might know her, my name is, I'm hearing. And so here we are, I'm hearing. With your data. Never mind, I'm hearing. Anonymity with this situation is difficult. Having identity protection for a problem that I don't want to say no one can see, but that is not common. It's rare. And I feel protective about other victims. I feel protective about myself. I feel protective about other people, family members, friends, children, and again, layers and levels of exposure to, I'm hearing deadly toxin. Let me pull one for that. And it's the Strength card, the number 8. And I'm hearing Leo as I'm remembering whose card 8 is, Strength, Leo. I'm going to leave off there and just leave a positive message. And I'm wishing everybody healing. If you're someone who's a victim of V2K, remote telecommunications, I'm hearing, or synthetic telepathy, if you're someone who has been tortured by spy communications, or can't get it right, and I'm hearing can't get it right, and I'm hearing bandwidth, and I'm getting hairband, and I'm seeing a woman with some wild and crazy hair, and it's also overlapping with this 2 of Cups card, binary system, partnership. Be strong, everyone. I'm hearing be well. Be careful.